Be reconciled. We care for more about following the rules than we care about people and their pain. Jesus was profoundly compassionate. He cared deeply and touched people at the deepest level. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 20 to 25, Jesus cautions us about our attitudes towards others and calls us to reconcile before an issue of unforgiveness gets out of hand. In verse 23 he says, "Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother or sister, then come and offer your gift." Why reconciliation? It is because somewhere something has gone wrong. People are injured. They are heartbroken. So to reconcile is a clear indicator that each one of us is vulnerable, is fragile. It is a sign that each one of us stumbles and offends in the area of our human relationships. Remember that whenever we sin, we distance ourselves from God and from our neighbor. There is no longer peace or harmony among us. We give pride a chance to divide up our hearts, and we are held captives and unable to see clearly, act freely, and the end result is disunity. Our world today is torn apart due to unforgiveness in our families, in the church, and in the political sphere. We are divided. We do not trust each other anymore. We are filled with resentments of anger and jealousies. We want to be superior over others, and no one is humble enough to take a move that the process of reconciliation takes place. Jesus' invitation to forgive is a call that we move from darkness to light, from slavery to freedom, and from death to life. Jesus calls each one of us in today's gospel that we learn to receive forgiveness and to share it. Let us take Jesus as our model for reconciliation. Our urgent call is to become agents of healing and hope in our broken world. We must look at Jesus and the quality of life that he lived, and what he demands of us. St. Bonaventure, in his book Tree of Life, he writes, "He curbs the demons and puts them to flight. He cures the sick, cleanses the lepers, and raises the dead. He restores sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, speech to the mute, the power to walk to the crippled, sensation and movement to the paralytics and those with withered limbs." In a phrase, Jesus is able. Jesus is able to reconcile us with himself and with one another. Jesus said, "If you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother, or sister, and then come and offer your gift. The word remember is the key word. We have to swallow our pride and be the first people to move towards reconciliation, towards peace, and towards unity. We have to be the first to remember that we have caused pain. We have injured our brothers and sisters. We have broken their hearts. We must have the humility and the courage to take the first step to ask for forgiveness, as the examples from the Bible tells us. Genesis 33 verse 4 to 11. But Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Jacob said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, accept this gift from me. For to see your face is like seeing the face of God. Now that you have received me favorably, please accept the present that was brought to you, for God has been gracious to me, and I have all I need." And because Jacob insisted, Esau accepted. Reconciliation brought harmony between the two brothers. The other example is from Genesis chapter 45, verse 3 to 5. Joseph said to his brothers, "I'm Joseph. Is my father still living?" But his brothers were not able to answer him, because they were terrified at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Come close to me." When they did so, he said, "I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed. Do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." Peace was restored among the brothers. The other is from Luke chapter 15, verse 17 to 20. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired men have food to spare, and here I am starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired men.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. One was lost is reunited with the family. Christ is the restorer and healer of our broken bonds, of our relationships. Let us cry to him in humility, that he may give us the courage to forgive those who have offended us, and to ask for forgiveness from those we have offended. I end this reflection with a quotation from Micah chapter 7, verse 18 to 19. "Who is God like you, who pardons sin and forgives the transgression of the remnant of his inheritance? You do not stay angry forever, but delight to show mercy. You will again have compassion on us. You tread our sins underfoot and hurl all our iniquities into the depths of the sea.